Good morning, one and all. And I welcome you to the 134th edition of the Saturday webinar series. I am Anupam Anand, Fellow at Manage Hyderabad, and I welcome all to the webinar. The Center for Innovation and Agripreneurship is a center of excellence in agribusiness incubation hosted at the National Institute of Agricultural Extension Management, Manage Hyderabad. It is one of the leading agribusiness incubators in India. Manage CIA has mentored 503 entrepreneurs and incubated more than 310 startups from various focus areas of the Agri and Allied sectors. The topic for today's session is FPOs and Agri-Startups, successful partnership models. Under this, startups can empower millions of smallholder farmers to produce more, protect nature, reduce food loss and waste, and restore land. To nurture these mutually beneficial relationships, they need to build solutions that offer strong values for FPOs and their members. India needs more collaboration between FPOs and startups working to restore land. Embracing this vision of radical cooperation, we can build a more prosperous, climate resilient, and productive future for the Indian smallholder farmers. And to discuss this topic, we have with us two eminent speakers joining us today, Mr. G.V. Krishna Gopal and Mr. Rohan Satishursal. For our first session, I would like to introduce and invite Mr. Rohan Satishursal, who is Chairman and Managing Director, Purandar Highlands Farmers Producers Company Limited. Mr. Rohan is a founder director, Purandar Highlands Farmers Producer Company Limited, which is working into research and supply of custard apple and figs grown in Purandar Taluka of Pune district, Maharashtra, India. He has been director, Maharashtra State Figs Grower Association, an apex body representing the fig grower in Maharashtra Agribusiness Entrepreneur, awarded the most innovative agri entrepreneur at Krishitan, Nashik, a state level award, certified fit for partnership with Germany, trained at University of Mannheim 2020 under the Business Managers Training Program. He has been the part of Indian delegation to MACFRD 2015 and MACFRD 2015 Italy, part of Indian delegation to Interpoma 2016 Italy, working on creating sustainable alternatives by turning agri waste into fuels and biodegradable products. He has also shown keen interest in the use of sugarcane waste into bioplastics. With this small brief introduction, I would like to invite Mr. Rohan sir for his session. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to one and all. I'm very thankful for Manage for giving me this opportunity. So yes, a brief about Purandar Highlands. Purandar Highlands was conceptualized in 2014. It was the first, my first visit to Fruit Logistica Berlin. I was doing my MBA that time, and I came to know that there is a big exhibition, a trade fair, which is conducted in Berlin. And I thought, okay, if this is the biggest fair, I need to be there and check how the things are. When I went there, as I told you, I was studying my MBA and I went there. I saw that, farmers from all across the world dressed in their suits and proudly selling their produce there. That was a big game changer for me, because even the highly perishable berries were exported from one corner of the world to another. So when I saw all this happening there, I thought, okay, if this can happen in other parts of the world, then why not in my Purandar region? I belong to Purandar, my village is there. So when I came back, I thought that, okay, the figs are obviously famous. Figs in Purandar already have a GI tag. They are very well known across India for their sweet taste and the overall texture. But the second thing, what people or the buyers used to immediately say is that figs are great from Purandar, but they don't last. They last for just 1 or 2 days. So as I told you, when I came back, I started discussing this with my farmers in my village, in the surrounding villages. And initially, I got 2 members on board. One was Mr. Samil Ingre and the other was Mr. Ramchandra Guruji Khedekar. Both were very experienced farmers there, but very keen. They had very keen interest on innovating on this. So that's how Purandar Highlands started in 2014. Can you please change to the next slide? So in all, we have today we have 14 directors on board and 40 members registered as shareholders. 40 farmers registered as shareholders, and we work with more than 300 fig and custard apple farmers. We have a very limited members coming into the company because we have a very I mean, we follow strict system about how when the farmer is onboarded on the FPO, considering the cooperative scenario when you register for an FPO. We are very we take a very cautious approach when we register our farmers. It is only after 2 years of their association with the FPO, about how the training programs are going on, about how the protocols are followed, then they are made as a shareholder in the company. Right now, we have a very well-running farm-to-table model. I mean, when we say sustainable farm-to-table model, is we have total 14 directors on board right now, as I said, and they're right from selection of the saplings to up to the manufacturing or the production of the bread spreads or the juices. Everything is being done by the directors of this company who have specialized expertise in their domain. So we have everything covered, right from planting to up to the processing. The major focus for Purandar Highlands has always been research and development and innovation. I'll come to that in the next slides later on. And the focus crops which we have is the GI tagged Purandar figs, the Fule Purandar custard apple, and the Ratnadi guava. When I say the focus products right now is the focus crops are, we have a certain plan, like in 5 years, in 10 years, and in 15 and 20 years, how we are moving forward. So we shift our focus only when we are sure that a certain level of innovation and research has been attended in that crop, and then we move to the other crops. So initially in phase one, we have these three fruit crops which are on the focus. A little on the achievements till date. We were the first farmer producer company in India to export figs to Germany, Rotterdam, and Hong Kong. Super Figs is the first GI tagged fig brand registered in Purandar. When I say we were the first FPO in the country to export to Germany, that appreciation came in from our Honorable Minister for Industries and Commerce, Shri Piyush Goyalji. He retweeted a news published in Financial Express, and that was the time when we came to know that we were the first FPO to export figs to out of India. Then we are the first company to launch the first fig spread. The first fig juice was just launched a week back, and also the first sustainable packaging for figs in India, dedicated for figs, which we have recently launched. We have a partnership. We have partners in Germany, Hamburg, Bill Schindler, their Indian subsidiary Sion Agricos based in Bangalore, and our input partner or our guiding light has been Bayer Crop Science, the food value chain department, who has been very instrumental in implementing the GAP protocols and the other, I mean, required good agricultural practices for figs and custard apple, which were absent before this. If we can move to the next slide, please. So certainly, I mean, how this came to, I mean, 2014, 2023, today has been a long time for our FPO. So it wasn't I mean, a initial thought that we would come as an FPO. Initially, Purandar Highlands was registered as a proprietary concern. When we started researching, I mean, the main thing about having this FPO running is we started identifying the pain points which are there in the overall the supply chain of figs and custard apple. And that's how we started this company in 2014. A certain challenges which certainly we faced and most of our colleagues do go through. Would like to I mean, throw light about what our experiences are on this. Challenges are obviously a great opportunity when we say that, because if there is a challenge, we are certain that there is something wherein we can pitch in, because if the market is saturated, there is obviously a very narrow thing where you can pitch yourself. But when the market is very challenging, for example, like it was in figs, obviously it was a great opportunity for an FPO like us to pitch ourselves to our buyers out there. So certainly when you're forming an FPO, it should be very you should be very clear and particular about what your vision, mission, and goal statements are. Because unless and until you have a vision about why you wanted an FPO to be running here, your goals about what all you would like to achieve to attain that vision. That is very important in the long run, because if you want an FPO to be very sustainable, to be running as a longer time in the long run, your vision, mission, goal statement should be pretty clear and to the point about where you want to reach in next 10, 15, 20 years. Uh, Again, why an FPO and not any other legal entity? Many people immediately register themselves as an FPO and then start thinking about what and how to be functioning. So for Purandar Highlands in 2014, as I said, we registered first as a proprietary company. Then in 2018, we registered ourselves as a Krushi Gut, of group working, a group farming initiative by the government. And only in 2021, so it's just 2 years back, we registered ourselves as an FPO. Why? Because in 2021, we were pretty sure that all the 14 directors are handling certain responsibilities in the company. And now we can go ahead and register as an FPO, because then the FPO is obviously something which is registered under the Companies Act, but it has a set of rules which everyone knows, that you are on an equal sharing basis with all your colleagues there. And when you say that, you need to be pretty sure about how the functioning are, how the roles and responsibilities are, and only then an FPO can be registered, because then you have a confidence in your team about how the team is moving forward. One of the most important things that certainly comes to everyone's mind is the funding. Purandar Highlands till date has been a company which was started as it was a bootstrapped company. Initial contribution from all our members was just rupees 5,000. Till date, is being reinvested back into the company, and that's how we have been growing. So it's taken 8 long years for us to reach what we are today, but obviously we have a certain business model which is working. So obviously government funds, government is promoting very well. Government wants this FPO model to be very successful, but I think it should be pretty sure about, as I said, what your vision, mission, goal statements are, because only when you're clear about your vision, mission, goal statements, then you can certainly plan about how the finances would be flowing in the company. Right now, as I said, the farmers in our taluka, they themselves have invested in our company. They've come forward, they've shown faith in our company. And I think that is one thing that has been a strong point for us, because we have a very strong base in our region. People believe in what we do. When I say believe, we are obviously innovating. We are already always testing different models here. But whatever the outcome is, it's helping the farmers in the region, and that's how people start believing in you. So obviously the fundings are so I mean it's a biggest point of discussion when we say FPOs, but you should be very wise in about how you're using the government funds, if it is really required in the initial stages, or maybe when you scale up is the time when you need these funds. Again, investments, we don't have any private equity investors in our company, but obviously that is also one thing you should certainly check in the long run. When I say equity investors in the company, uh, the agri sector after the COVID has been a very lucrative spot, I would say, for people to invest. But uh, we have been very wise, and if in future also we take any investments, we always check if that is adding a certain value to the company in the long run, because money can be bought from banks or investors or any other medium, but if you don't get any value from that person or that company coming into the company, then it doesn't run in the long run. So that's how we have been using the funds wisely here. Socio-economic impact, obviously, uh, the work that your FPO is doing, as I said, we identified the pain points which were there in the entire supply chain. And when we started identifying, okay, the shelf life is lower, there is no packaging practices, there are no pre-harvest, post-harvest practices. We thought, okay, we have these 5 points where we can immediately start working. It took us time to research about how we can go forward. In such a scenario, we had a very good partner coming in the form of Bayer Crop Science. Bayer Crop Science has a food value chain department who has signed an agreement with Purandar Highlands, wherein we have started implementing the GAP protocol for these crops. They were not existing before. So we have started training farmers about how the harvesting has to be done, how the pre-harvest practices are, how the handling is to be done, about the overall scheduling of these for these crops. And Bayer has been very instrumental in helping us know about how we reach the global markets. Also, the association with Bayer has helped us to know whatever is happening around the world. For example, if anything is happening in Turkey or anything better solution is there in Brazil, their team gets back to us. Okay, this is how we can. This is how it is happening in Brazil for the figs. Maybe we can check this for the same in Purandar. So that's how a global company has helped us grow wisely, I would say, when we work in these crops. And socio-economic impact is because last 3 years, well, I mean, from the time we actually started running this as a professionally business model, uh, today I can say there has been a certain increase in demand of figs across India. Initially, in initial days, figs has a rich history. As you know, it was brought in India by in around the 13th century, and it was brought from Daulatabad. It was brought to Daulatabad by Peshwa Bajirao I, and then it was planted in Dive village in Purandar. So it has a long history, but it only took it I mean, in only 2023, where the figs exported for the first time from India. So a certain buzz around what we have been able to create. Maybe Purandar Highlands would be catering to only 5% of the farmers in Purandar, I can say. But the overall impact, the overall economic impact on these two crops has been very substantial, which I can say, I can proudly say from my side today, because there has been an increase in demand. We have started sending figs not just to other countries, but across the almost to 7 states daily from Purandar. And that how a new market has been created in domestic also, and as well as in international market. All the buzz around this has helped other farmers to also get a better income. People have started understanding that, okay, this is something which can be grown only on our soil. I always say to our farmers that a GI commodity like a fig, which we are having today, I mean, we are sitting on a gold mine here. We need to just make sure that we extract that gold in the best possible way and offer it to the world. So that's how the socio-economic impact has helped Purandar Highlands to also gain confidence from the farmers here. Creating a niche is the next point. Obviously, unless and until you have a USP working for your FPO, it is very difficult for you to stay in the business, because you need to have that factor which is only with you, or something which you have identified and you're solved. So obviously, you need to create your own space about how you're placing your company, about how you're placing your thoughts, and how you're placing your business model. So it is very important to create that space for you. Obviously, competition is very good. It's very high. It is good to have a competition, obviously, but once you are there, you always got a first mover advantage. So Purandar Highlands always shares whatever we have done, because almost we do trials and innovations on day in and day out. Out of maybe 100 trials, maybe 5 or 6 trials would go successful, but when they are successful, we do publish about how we did it to our fellow farmers in the taluka. So that's how Purandar Highlands has been able to create a niche. Today I can say, if there is something said about figs or about custard apple, maybe Purandar Highlands is one of the names that might come to everyone's mind. Uh, Most important team, as I said, we have 14 directors. Those 14 directors have not just walked into the company, they have come into the company only with a certain role and responsibility. One of the members who handles the nursery, he already has a nursery, but he has a PhD in that. So he handles about how the best crops or the saplings are made. And when I said to directly go to the processing, Mr. Kadlak, who is one of our directors here, he's a MSc microbiologist. He has a very good fig and custard apple farm, and he's worked in MNCs. So when he came to know that something like Purandar Highlands is coming up, he resigned from his job in a MNC food processing company, and he joined Purandar Highlands. So that's how each and every director comes into the company. There are seniors who are entrusted with the responsibility of farmer connects. There are certain directors who are only exploring the markets out there. So directors is a very good the status when you get them into the company. But please be sure that every director coming into the company has his own roles and responsibilities, and is pretty sure about, and you're pretty sure about what his contribution would be there in the company. Also, as I said, we don't. I mean, in the team, if a certain director is giving his 100% time to the company also gets him as a director on a payroll. So he's paid a good salary when he's giving his 100%. So that's how you need to be very sure about how your team is, and then slowly start building. As I said, 8 years can sound very long time, but right now I can pretty be sure that this team is nurturing the overall ecosystem in the taluka. So please be pretty sure about how and who is coming into the team. Also, when I say the team, the shareholders are also important part of this team, considering this is an FPO model, because you all are on an equal sharing platform, and uh, any person coming into the company should be very dedicated to the companies, or I would say he should be very well aligned with the vision, mission, and goal statements of the company. Sustainability, certainly, as I said, anything, any initiative, any innovation, any research, any development, whatever you do, it should be possible. I mean, it should be very well managed in the long run. It should have your overall model or your innovation should obviously help the overall ecosystem, and it should you should be able to help turn the overall ecosystem in that region. So sustainability is obviously very important, because only when you show your members, you show your directors that uh, you have a long-term vision in this, and this is what you want to achieve, only then sustainability can be achieved, and the faith of the other directors and members can be achieved. Last line which I've written in red marking is charity, social work, improving lives of people are a very buzzword when we see that, okay, we are forming an FPO. But I can certainly say, if the company is in profits, only then you can do all these, because you need to be very wise in how you are being able to give dividends to the farmers. If a company initially, you might offer freebies to the farmers, to the freebies to the other people in the region, and create a buzzword, but in the long run it wouldn't survive for sure, because in next 2 to 3 years you would just dry up with your funds, and then you have nowhere to go. And that is what happens mostly, and the overall uh, I mean, the people lose faith in this these models. So obviously, only and if your FPO, your company is in profits, only then you can give dividends, good dividends to your farmers. You can do good work in the region, and that's how the real confidence is built in the people in the long run. So obviously, if the company is in profits, only then you can achieve all these, and you can create an impact in what you have aimed for. So obviously, be very professional about how the business is. Your goal should be to keep the company in profits. While making profits, it is important that certain part goes to the development of the ecosystem there, development of the people there, developing the enriching the lives of the farmers there. So I mean, just like any other private limited company or any proprietary company or concern, maybe any other company, be very professional in your approach. Only then all these points are valid in the long run. Next slide, please. I've just
Sorry to interrupt you. Could you please take it in a few seconds more, few minutes more?
Sure. I'll do it. Okay, I'll just rush through this. A certain package about how packaging has helped figs here. If you can say, the first two images are the traditional way how the figs were packed. For a certain box on the left side where you see, 12 leaves of the tree had to be cut for the packaging purpose. Obviously, it was not a sustainable way because you're harming the tree, you're harming the fruits, and overall shelf life is degraded immediately then and there. We moved to punnets. This is obviously a foolproof system. Punnets are a good option whenever we are sending it to our clients and also for the exports. But the third image which you see, that is India's first sustainable packaging. That is a biodegradable packaging and also a packaging which has helped increase the shelf life. Initial first image, IFIX used to last for a day or two. Punnets, we could extend the shelf life to 4 to 5 days. But the sustainable packaging which we have made is something which has given us a shelf life of 8 to 10 days. So any innovation which we are doing, it should help that crop, it should help that fruit, and it should also be very attractive to the buyers, and because it is only in your hand about how you create the overall value for your fruit there. Next slide, please. I mean, believe in partnership is something what has helped Purandar Highlands grow. As I said, the first image on the left side, you can say that's the association which we have proudly, which we are very proud of with Bayer Crop. Bayer Crop has helped us implement all the global protocols which are available across the world for the figs and custard apple. They also recently, just this year in Fruit Logistica Berlin, shared with the world audience about how Purandar Highlands and Bayer is working. So as I said, 2014, when I visited Logistica, I had dreamed that, okay, one day my company would be published. I would be having its name here. In 2023, our name was published in Fruit Logistica Berlin by our partners. So that's how partnership is very important. Second image is obviously with Mr. Andreas Schindler. He's our export partner. They have their Indian subsidiary based in Bangalore, Sion Agricos. These are the people who have actually helped us take these figs across the world. They have offices in multiple locations. They were usually working in hardy fruits, but when we requested them that, okay, if we can work with figs, they took it up, and that was a big turnaround for us. So obviously, Purandar Highlands didn't have any connects in export market, but with partnership, we are now reaching in several countries. That's how partnership has built. Third image, you can see the media, very important partners in this. Every innovation, as I said, the socio-economic impact which our company has been able to achieve it, media has been very helpful in projecting it, because as I said, they have published our stories. These stories were picked up by Ministry of Commerce and then republished, and that has got a name for us. So obviously, media, about your innovation, you need to be very vocal about what impact you are having, and you have a very good partner in the media there. Last slide, again, a very important thing. You can see public figures like Honorable Shri Sharad Pawar ji, Supriya Tai ji, Honorable Nitin Gadkari ji. They have been promoting our products on their platforms. Purandar Highlands, or may per se Rohan Ursel, has a limited followers on his social media. But when you say Honorable Shri Sharad Pawar ji, Nitin Gadkari ji, Supriya Tai ji, they have a big fan following on their social media. And whenever we take up any innovation, whenever we launch any products, they have been very vocal in publishing this thing. Or Honorable MP Supriya Tai ji, any new product we launch, she has been vocal about it on the social media, and that on her post, we have been very fortunate on getting orders from across the country and also from outside. So obviously, we obviously say that any MP or any MLA can certainly, if they start promoting the fresh produce in their region, our farmers would really certainly double their income, because we lack only in marketing and nothing else. We have a very strong backend. We know how to grow. But the one important point where we really lack is the marketing. And I think our public representatives, if they take up such initiatives, what we have been very fortunate about, certainly the marketing is a part of marketing is handled, and it helps you grow. Next slide, please. A few images about how these are on the left side. These are products, the spreads, custard apple, figs. On the right side, a few images of our unit there. we have a unit wherein we have all the safety protocols implemented. There are air quality filters, detectors, temperature controls. Whatever fits into our budget is being done there, and we make sure that any product which is coming out from this company is I mean, we always be sure that we are able to feed our own children, our own family with the confidence. If we are confident of that, only then we have committed to feed it to the other clients across the world. So that commitment in every single product does come from our company. Next slide, please.
Saurabh, could you move next slide? Saurabh.
Yeah. So that's all from my side. I'm sorry if I've skipped my time or I crossed my time limit, but obviously over to you, Amiji.
Yeah, it's really important to cover all the things, but in a very short time, your really impressive presentation about the things. But the one thing which I most like that about the directors in FPO, usually it happens that everyone should contribute and they should have some role and responsibilities. And the second thing is about the packaging. You are going towards the sustainable packaging and the partnership network, how you built up. It helps you to grow your startup. So I think this is what the key learnings from your session. We will take the questions from the participants. I request they can put their questions in the chat box. They may raise their hands. That we will take after this second speaker session. So now I request to my colleague Anupam to introduce our second speaker.
Thank you, Amit. With this, I'll try invite and give a brief introduction about our second speaker, which is Mr. G.V. Krishna Gopal. Sir is Group Chief Executive Officer, Access Livelihoods Group. Mr. Krishna is a serial social entrepreneur for the past 2 decades. He is deeply involved in designing and incubating enterprises which are usually based on cooperative principles and for charitable causes. Over the years, inspired by Amul and Lijjat Papad, he has successfully incubated enterprises which have significantly improved incomes for 65,000 women in rural and tribal areas across 5 states in agriculture, livestock, weaving, and forestry sectors. In the recent past, to federate the efforts of women producers, he has promoted a brand, Creo, which aspires to be next Amul, but this time owned and controlled by million women producers of the country. His passion continues to be to incubate contemporary, social, collective, and non-profit responsible enterprises, adapting cutting-edge technological solution. With this brief introduction, I'd like to hand over the session to Sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. I will just launch my presentation.
Yeah, so now you can able to share the screen.
Yeah. Is it problem with my net?
No, so it's not recording.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
It's loading now, sir. Yes, it's visible. You need to make a full screen. Yeah. Yes, sir. Good to go now, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So I'll quickly go through this. This is usually when I talk about FPOs, I do talk about it at a scale. So instead of doing it at a scale, I thought that I will take this time a single particular FPO that we have tried to promote, and this is in Naganpalli village, which is in Rangareddy district of Telangana state. The entire institution and organization FPO is owned by women farmers in that particular village, Naganpalli village. There are 180 members, and this is jointly incubated by Ramoji Foundation, which is Ramoji Film City's CSR arm, and Access Livelihoods. So this was registered in 9th October 2019. There are 188 members. Active members are around 126. They have a share capital of 17 lakhs. To against which, once they have contributed around 10,000 members, the foundation, Ramoji Foundation, has given 41 lakhs as equity grant, which is again in the names of this, but it's a locked-in capital, which means that for the next 20 years, these people cannot withdraw this one. So the particular FPO provides agri input services, financial services, organic vegetable production and paddy procurement, cattle feed services, insurance services, and custom hiring services. Apart from this, they are also doing other activities like Republic Day Melas, free health checkups for the members, and they also provide trainings for agri farmers, dairy farmers, women enterprises, and learning through learning labs that they have created. So till date, what is the kind of service? There are around 90 members who have obtained on an average 30,000 rupees loan. These are multiple rounds. These loans are given not from the borrowed capital, but from the equity that is available. So the women rotate their own capital, take it as loan. There are 33 organic farmers who have, on an average, they sell around 17,000 worth of vegetables every year to the producer company. There is a common custom hiring center where 24 farmers hire a service of around worth 9,300 rupees. Cattle feed to 20 farmers who are availing services of 6,008. These are all annual average of service that is utilized. 160 members who utilize the retail grocery with 6,300 rupees as an annual purchase, and learning lab where 500 people have got trained. There are 5 board of directors. 2 of them are not active. We were going to replace them. We have given sufficient warning. There are 3 women who are very active and who are taking care of the entire board of this one. So there is this producer company has its own staff. There are all of them are local village people. They are all young people, women and men. They get a salary of around 10 to 18,000 rupees, and they run all the services of the producer company. So from our side, we have a sphere team which has 3 members and 2 interns. 3 members are mostly agribusiness graduates and graduates and postgraduates and dairy graduates who can take care of the entire PC's activities during the phase of promotion. So we expect this kind of a support required only for the first 3 years, post which the producer company operates by its own. So the business services, first is the financial services. We have a total member capital of 18,36,000, total equity of 41,75,000, and the loans that we have given till date is around 60 lakhs, which is basically rotation of the capital on multiple times to the same members once they repay. So our overdues are very minimal, only 1 lakh, that too, which are 3 months overdue. And we've been current principal outstanding is 33 lakhs and loan lent is around 25.5 lakhs in the current year, and 66 members have availed this particular service, and they take consumption loans, crop loans, cattle loans, and micro enterprise loans. Organic vegetables, we have today 20 acres of land, which this one so far we have done 30 tons of procurement, and we sell it at a wholesale. And we also produce organic rice, millets, and organic potato. We have introduced this organic potato and 6.5 acres, and it's doing very well. They were growing colocasia, now they are growing organic potato. So these are some of the photos. We have introduced paddy varieties, old native varieties like Navara, Ratnachari, and Mysore Mallika. These things and Rabi crop colocasia have been replaced with potato. Organic vegetables, earlier there used to be only 2 vegetables that were grown in this particular village. Now there are 20 different vegetables that are grown. Millets are grown and sesame has been started. So we increase the diversity of the crops within the same farmers and ensure that they are doing organic mix production. So these are some photographs of vegetable procurement, grading, and then how neatly they are marketing the entire thing. Then we have PGS certification, which we have taken with the help of Center for Sustainable Agriculture. They have given PGS certification because they are one of the partners. And we supply organic vegetables to all of these major stores, 12 stores in Hyderabad, 24 Letter Mantra, Natural Foods, Javik, Surabhi, Daman Organic, Sahaj Aharam. Everybody buy vegetables directly from us, and they sell it in their stores. For organic input preparation, the women themselves are involved. There is a small unit that we have established where vermicompost is produced, and Ganajivamtram as well as cow dung as an organic input manure. All of this is made available to the farmers from the unit that has been set up. For the fodder crops, there is a model farm that we have set up. We have taken land on lease, 3 acres of land, and when we say we, the producer company has taken land on lease, and it produced Napier hybrid, Napier grass, and paragrass. All of these are grown in the model farm, and this fodder is supplied to the dairy farmers within the village. There is a custom hiring center. As we have mentioned, the custom hiring center is an essential service that we provide to the farmers, especially small farmers who are 2 acres, 3 acres of land. They cannot hire machinery. So this, we have machinery worth around 30 lakhs. This 30 lakhs that has been invested has been, we have a small center where we maintain all this machinery, and farmers have hire this. We be reasonable as a producer company is reasonable in pricing this end to end, much lesser than the what is available this one, usually anywhere less than 15 to 20% lesser than the service that is obtained outside. The input side services, we have always seen the producer company to be providing it as a service to the farmer, not as a process of making money. The output side is what provides the surplus that is required to manage the overheads and the operations of producer company. So these are some of the machineries that are used by the producer company. We have set up a dairy, which is a 2000 liter dairy. This is a photograph, but it has already been developed. This particular space, which is on a leased land of 5 acres, where we have created space for labor, custom hiring center, agri input center, and cattle feed, as well as dairy processing unit. So you can see the dairy processing unit, the custom hiring center. There is a separate shed. There is an agri input preparation center, and there is also a labor quarters that has been prepared. Right now, we have spent around 1.6 crores. This has been taken as a, for which Ramoji Foundation has given as a returnable grant, which means at a 0%, the loan has been given. This 1.6 crores will be returned by the producer company in the next 3 to 4 years. So the 3 collection points are established for the raw milk. Milk procurement. Today, we are procuring milk from the nearby 4-5 villages, and there are 2 Creo outlets, which is the brand that has been created for them, and where both wholesale as well as this one is done. So if you look at the milk procurement, the dairy plant was started in February, and today we are getting around 700 liters of milk every day. It started with 70 liters, 160 liters, 340 liters per day. Now we have 700 liters coming. All the women, local women, have been trained to manage this dairy processing plant. There is a small cold store, there is milk processing machinery, chilling unit. All these things has been conceptualized and put. They have a small effluent treatment plant. All of this is managed by the women themselves, and they produce good products which are sold at a premium in the Hyderabad market. So this is the outlet they run. They have also partnered with Amul, so that they have a wide range of products. So both the dairy products as well as vegetables are sold from this outlet. This is only a single outlet, but we also do B2B by partnering with other organic stores. Cattle insurance is provided to all the animals, and there is a learning lab that we have created, essentially ensuring that the villages, everybody get an opportunity, young school children, youth as well as women in the village get an opportunity to learn digitally. So there is a batch of tally that has been done, where around 20 people have learned tally from within the village. Then there are 12 people who almost 38 people who have learned basic computers, spoken English, and all those things. We've also given them in future, what we are planning is that there will be basic computer course, there will be digital literacy, financial inclusion courses, and sports for women, so that they can this one. The PC itself is run by the women, therefore major courses are also targeted at the women. There are micro enterprises for the women that are being developed. We give the complete pre-incubation support, where business conceptualization is done by the women. Then finance is provided by the producer company, and the women are allowed to set up their own units. So we have identified certain potential units that they can set up: potato chips like ketchup, puree, pickle, peanut butter, chicky, coconut oil, cold pressed oils, all these things, and even idli batter and dosa batter will be made. So these kind of units will be set up by the women themselves, and finance will be provided by the producer company, and the produce will be purchased by the producer company and sold under the Creo brand through their outlets and through B2B process. We have had several partnerships, and we are also taking training support from different organizations, and we are hoping that we will establish these more partnerships. Moving forward, we are trying to set up a community kitchen so that all the rice and vegetables which are grown in this one can be converted into fresh food and will be supplied to several industries, canteens, even this one. So that kind of a thing. So there will be a complete value addition that will be done, and there will be in the food supply chain is completely taken care. So we have other community engagements. There is a health checkup, regular health checkups for the family. Then there are smartphones which are given to all the women. Our entire villages, all the 188 members have smartphones, which has been where they have contributed a little bit. They have contributed 6,000 rupees, and we have been able to mobilize some grants of 3,000 rupees, and they have been given digital financial training. So now all the women, middle-aged women, old people are also using WhatsApp. They use digital payments and everything. So even the PCs loans are also done through the digital bank accounts only. There are no direct cash transactions now done by the PC. And this is a Republic Mera. There are sports meets for the women, because women are the focus in this particular this one. So women are also taught yoga. Then plantations are done with the women in youth, so that this is the this one. Until last year, we didn't have the dairy operational, so the turnover was only 20 lakhs or something. But this year the turnover is 1.2 crores, and it has grown. So it will become profitable also this year. So last 2 years financials. So we hope to make this as a very model kind of an FPC, completely owned by the women, and it will have its own integrated unit where food processing will be done and final products are supplied to the consumers. Thank you. I hope I have done it within the time limit that is specified. Did I? Yes, I guess so. Sorry if it is a slight delay.
No, sir, it's all in time actually. Thank you. So yeah, I can see, sir, many initiatives are being taken from your organization, yes, especially for the women and the farmers, mainly into the organic, which is actually the emerging trend in the agriculture sector. So now we'll move to the next section of the Q&A, question and answers from the participants. So I request to the participant, they may put their questions in the chat box, or if you want to ask the questions directly to the speakers, they may raise the hands. So we can see in the participants, Vikas Chaudhary has raised his hand. Saurabh, could you unmute him to ask the question? Yeah, Vikas, are you there? Hello?
Hello. Sir, good afternoon.
We can hear you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. You can ask the question.
Sir, my question is regarding to fig products.
Yeah, question is to Rohan, Mr. Rohan. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Rohan, sir, are you procuring figs from other parts of country?
So currently not. We are currently focusing on Purandar region because, as I said, there is a quite a lot of research and development to be done there. So once we are pretty sure about the processed products also working very well in the market, these are innovative products. So it will take time for us to place them in the right markets. Once we do that, then we will focus to other regions.
Sir, actually in Rajasthan there are some farmers who have started production of fig, but there is lack of processing infrastructure in Rajasthan.
Yeah, there are, 2 points there. In Rajasthan, the DNA variety is grown, which has a lower shelf life but a good sugar content. Other thing is processing, as you said. Processing, as we introduced the first fig juice, the first fig spread. Though these products are very innovative, it will take some time for them to gain good market out there, and we are certainly trying for that. So once that happens, we will start procuring from other parts, and only then we will be in a position to also guide farmers from other regions.
Sir, one more question. Hello.
Sure. Yes.
सर मतलब एक छोटा किसान कोई ऐसी मशीन है क्या जिसमें वो अपनी फिग को ड्राई फिग में प्रोसेस कर ले अपने ही खेत में? कोई ऐसा ड्रायर वगैरह आता है क्या इंडिया?
सर ड्रायर्स तो काफी आते हैं, जैसे कि सोलर ड्रायर्स आते हैं, मैकेनाइज्ड ड्रायर्स आते हैं, पर जो फिलहाल जो पुरंदर की वैरायटी है वो ड्राइंग के लिए सूटेबल नहीं है। उसका ब्रिक्स लेवल भी कम है, एंड जब हम ड्राइंग करते हैं तो वो ब्लैकिश, इट टर्न्स आउट टू बी ब्लैकिश, जो मार्केट एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है। तो इसलिए हमारा ये भी काम चल रहा है कि कुछ नई वैरायटीज जो प्रोसेसिंग स्पेसिफाइड वैरायटीज है वो भी हम इंडिया में ला रहे हैं, जिसके कारण कि आगे 8-10 साल में जब कोई मार्केट सैचुरेट होता है तो नया वैरायटी फार्मर्स के पास उपलब्ध हो सके।
Yeah, I hope Vikash you got the answer. It's really interesting to know that there is a very two different or maybe many different varieties of the same crop are there, which are used for the different purpose. Let's say if it is a jam, then different varieties. If we are eating the dried fig, then there are different varieties. So I hope everyone is taking a note of the all the things which are sharing the speakers. So now moving to the one more question is coming from the participants. This question is to Mr. Krishna Gopal sir that mainly these farmers or the SHGs groups are working in a perishable produce. So it's really challenging for them to market it in a small time. And how is there is any procedure to where to get the organic certification from the ALC group, sir? Hello, yeah, Krishna sir, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you just, I lost in between the connection. Was there a question to me?
Fine, sir.
Yeah.
Fine, sir. I'll repeat it. So mainly these farmers and SHGs are dealing in the perishable commodities or the produce. So
Yeah.
how you are overcoming this problem, and is there is any way to get the certification, or maybe ALC can help to get the organic certification for the produce?
Yeah, I mean, so perishable commodities, there is no problem as long as you define your market very well. So because we are dealing with perishable commodities, and the village is a peri-urban village, which is very near to Hyderabad. So we focus on Hyderabad markets and we directly link to the vendors, shops directly where we can actually sell. So the entire cycle, if you look at a normal dairy, a normal dairy procures milk for 500 kilometers away. They chill the milk, they process the milk and get it, transport it another 200, 300 kilometers before they sell it. So usually the milk that we get is around 2 to 3 days old or 4 days. Now, if you look at many colonies, you will see that there are dairy farms which have set up small shops. These dairy farms, their turnaround is is hardly few hours. They are able to supply the milk within 4 or 5 hours from the time it is milked. So we are inspired by these small service providers and dairy farms who are in the peri-urban areas. They are able to manage the perishable products within a very short supply chain, which is around 3 to 4 hours, and supply fresh milk to the households. The households are also able to appreciate this and they are able to give better premium. So if you look at dairy processed milk, usually it comes at 60 rupees or 65 rupees a liter, whereas we are able to realize around 70 to 80 rupees for our milk. So there's a premium there. So even vegetables, the same issue. If you're directly able to link with the vendors, then there is no issue, and there is a easy this one. As far as organic certification and registration is concerned, there is two systems. One is privately managed. You have a detailed process where you do chemical testing and all those things, and certification issued by the different service providers. Now, this is slightly costly, and also every batch getting a test done and before you deliver, especially in the perishables where you get the test results, it will take at least 2 3 days or 4 days time. So what we have done is instead we have chosen the PGS system, participatory guarantee system, which is recognized by Government of India, and the Government of India has appointed few service providers like Center for Sustainable Agriculture in our case. They are able to certify the product and ensure that there is a guarantee that is given to the customer to ensure that all the required practices are followed.
Right. I hope the participants get their questions answered. So there's one more question is coming from the participant, Mr. Jaspal. He wants to know from the Rohan sir, from you, that how you ensure the quality of the raw material and how do you maintain the sustainable supply chain? Mainly, this is related to the fig he wants to know.
Sure. Hello, Jaspalji. So yes, just read your question there. So quality of raw materials, there are two forms. One is one is in the fresh form for the figs. So what we did is, as I said, we have a partnership with Bayer Crop Science, wherein we work on pre-harvest practices. So these pre-harvest practices, we ensure we train the farmers about how you harvest these figs, at what stage you harvest these figs, and this all is based upon the client requirement. So what Purandar Highlands does is we take down what the client requirement is, which market we are heading to, and accordingly we have managed our supplies coming into the company. So initially, obviously, our directors or our team members had to visit those farms, but right now, once the farmers are very used to about these practices and also are getting better returns on it, they themselves are taking this initiative of harvesting only what and how the company requires. One thing I would make sure that Purandar Highlands doesn't only procure the only premium fruits. We procure everything what is grown by these farmers, because we also have our processing unit there. And an FPO can only be viable option when you can accept everything what is grown in the farm, because considering there are global warming effects, there are certain issues which are beyond our control. So we accept everything, but we also train our farmers that if this is an export consignment, this is how you need to harvest. If it is for the domestic market, if it is for the processing, these are the protocols which you need to follow. For processing, obviously, quality of raw materials, जहाँ की हमारा प्रोसेस मतलब कलेक्शन सेंटर हमारे खुद का ही है, तो हमको ये पक्का मालूम है कि कौन सा प्रोडक्ट, कौन सा फ्रूट हमारे प्रोसेसिंग के लिए जा रहा है। इधर हम किसी पे डिपेंड नहीं है, तो इसलिए क्वालिटी फ्रूट्स ही हमारे प्रोसेस होते हैं। एंड दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव बीन एबल टू एंश्योर दैट वी हैव द highest standards of spreads which we manufacture. Our spreads, I can certainly say, I mean, we have a NABL lab reports of 24 months shelf life. So ये सब कुछ चीजें जब हमारा सीसी खुद का है, जो फार्मर्स हमारे साथ कनेक्टेड है, सो स्टार्ट टू एंड मतलब प्लांटेशन से लेकर प्रोसेसिंग तक पूरा सिस्टम हमारे इधर मैप्ड है. दैट इज व्हाई वी हैव बीन वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट आवर प्रोडक्ट्स. सस्टेनेबल सप्लाई चेन, ऑब्वियसली इनोवेशन इसमें काफी ज्यादा आता है कि हम हमारे क्लाइंट्स में वो इंटरेस्ट कितने कंटिन्यू डेवलप करें. जैसे कि हमने पैकेजिंग इवॉल्व करते रहते हैं, ब्रांडिंग इवॉल्व करते रहते हैं, कुछ नई चीजें हम उनको पैकेजिंग के दौरान या फ्रूट नई वैरायटीज देते रहते हैं. तो ये सब कुछ चीजें वो कंटिन्यूटी रखने के लिए काफी जरूरी है, जो हम कोशिश करते हैं डे इन डे आउट.
A very important point is there, sir, that at a ground level, training is very important and monitoring is very important. And the well point you said that whatever is produced coming from the farmer's side, that you are procuring, because usually what happens with the FPOs, maybe for the exporters case, they usually select for the A grade and B grade products. So what farmers will do with the C grade remaining products. So it's a very good practice your FPOs are adopting, and I think everyone should, every agri startup should, and the FPOs should think on this model. We'll quickly move to the next question. I can see a hand is raised by Vanamala in the attendees. Yeah, Vanamala, you can ask the question directly to the speakers.
I'm audible, sir?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. You can ask the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really thanks to provide this much information to us. My question is to GV Krishna Gopal, sir. During your startup, what are the problems you are faced, sir? I just want to know the problems, because it is the woman entrepreneurship. That's why I want to know, sir. Because I just want to start a new startup. That's why I'm asking.
So thank you. Basically, so in any case, I think I always say that those who are promoting FPOs, their first job is to be a good salesman. I'm using this word good salesman is that if you have to communicate a vision, it is not that the women are very good at agriculture and they're able to practice, but the vision of organizing the entire supply chain and organizing a company, that is obviously given from the promoting organizations, in this case Access Livelihoods teams as well as Ramoji Foundation, their teams. All these teams come together and they are providing the technical support. Now, so therefore it's our first duty to actually create the vision for the woman, and that is a very long standing process. Usually the response from the woman will be very lackadaisical. They will not be so active because they would have had past experience with the government programs and also other NGOs. They will feel that okay, they are not going to be around for at least 4-5 years. They will just do as long as the project is available and then they will move on. So this is the kind of image that we have. So to overcome that, we have to gain confidence of the women, and we do a very systematic process where we train them for 4-5 days, and then we also take them to several exposure visits, and then we also enter into an agreement to give them confidence that we are here for the 5 years or 6 years time, before which the FPO is stabilized. So if you do this, then the challenge can be over. The second challenge is usually women don't want to take up this kind of business management roles because the family doesn't encourage. While women may be interested, there's most of the times the men, they will say, why are you going around, you're doing it in the early in the morning, late in the evening, you have to go to the market, why are you going in a vehicle? All this they don't support. So many women face the issue, and we have to handle it. Our team members go and to the door to door and to the household as well as counsel them, and say that we are providing the safety, we will take care of the entire thing, and we will also ensure decent income for the women. So this is a process. It has to be done on a household to household basis in a counseling way, and we have been able to do that. That's how there is all the activities in our producer companies managed by the women themselves. The third challenge that we faced is that when we run custom hiring center, obviously there is a tractor and sometimes a driver. There could be small accidents. And usually the drivers need to have licenses, otherwise there will be police cases and all those things. We also had a small accident, but because it is within the village, the villagers themselves, and they agreed that the accident occurred because of the farmer, not because of the driver. Therefore, we did a small arrangement and managed the entire. So there are like that. And again, dealing with organic farmers, marketers, sometimes they don't give the right price. So then we have to negotiate the deals. So these women are learning. So there are several problems, like from managing the units, maintaining the units, marketing everywhere, and each one can be overcome. Sometimes you will have difficulties, but it's like a child trying to learn to walk. You know, you will fall sometimes. It's okay, and sometimes we are there only to say that okay, it's okay. Even if you fall, you can still walk. And as you keep encouraging the women are capable of handling all of this. It may take some time. We have also created something called as mini MBA, which is offered for 6 months to the woman. So this mini MBA for 6 months, giving all the managerial training, including finance, accounts, marketing, and all, is imparted to the women. This is also certified with the help of Manage. Manage has been supporting us technically in looking at the curriculum and all those things. So we use that mini MBA to train women, and these women become the leaders. So in that way also we invest into the women.
Yeah, I hope Malaji, you got the answer. And I can see still there are so many questions are coming in the chat box. Many of you has raised hands, but due to time constraint, we are not able to take the all questions of your participants. But we have put the details of the speakers in the chat box, so you can connect with them. You can ask the questions to them anytime over the email, so you can be connect with them. So before that, I would like to, before we come to the end of that, I would like to make some announcement that today and tomorrow is the last day to apply for the Managed Agri-Eureka Challenge, where the agri innovators, the students, those who have some ideas in their mind, they can apply for this Agri-Eureka Challenge, where they get the opportunity to get incubated and mentoring support from the managed under RKVY-RAFTAAR program. The best top selected business plans will get the opportunity, get the funding up to 5 to 25 lakh rupees under the RKVY-RAFTAAR program from the Ministry of Agriculture. So don't miss this opportunity. Today and tomorrow is the last day. Also, for our regular updates, you can follow our social media handles. You can check our website for the regular programs. And we will see you on the next 135th webinar in the next upcoming Saturday. So for time being, thank you so much for being there with us and listen to the speakers. Thank you so much, all, and thank you to the speakers. Yeah. Thank you, Rohan sir. Thank you, Krishna Gopal sir. Thank you. Thank you all,
Thank you.
Manasi. Bye bye.